We are live.
What's going on, everybody? Beautiful Tuesday, a beautiful day for some rants. And what a phenomenal news cycle it has been with Trump in office, guys. With Trump in office, there is something every day. But the thing is, it seems like when Trump's in office, everybody just starts wiling the F out. It's the wildest thing, right? Trump goes in office. Kanye admits to filleting his cousin for 14 years. And then he starts retweeting Nick Fuentes. Obviously, no connection to any homosexuality there. None at all. None at all. No, of course not. And man, the world is starting to correct itself. That's what I see. Student loans, we're starting to see that with some, and I'll explain my position on student loans as we move on. And just the world itself. Another thing that happened, Shannon Sharpe is being accused of sexual assault and sued for $50 million for sexually assaulting a woman. So what does that do with his career at ESPN? I honestly don't think he needs ESPN because he's done so well with his own, he has Nightcap with Ocho Cinco. I love Ocho Cinco, huge fan. I've always been. He's cheaper than me, Alan, and I know that's hard to imagine. This dude used to wear fake gold chains and fly Spirit Airlines while everybody else flew private jet. He kept 80% of his earnings in the NFL. A little Ocho Cinco trivia for you guys. Nice. Yeah, but the Shannon Sharpe thing is wild. I mean, it just seems like there's always something in the news cycle. Tim Pool is in the White House press box. I mean,
that's awesome.
It is an insane world. But with that being said, Alan, how have you been, man?
I've been good, sir. Thank you. Just doing a little homesteading and doing all, shooting guns in the yard, shit like that, like normal redneck shit. And then
that sounds very, very white of you.
Yeah, very, very white, very white, bald and tattooed. Doesn't it? But and then just to open up the X yesterday and see that Kanye's losing it again. Do you think all this shit is an act? That he's just trying to make sure he stays relevant, or do you think he's crazy?
So I have a couple takes on this, Alan, and I want to be as sensitive as possible because I see a lot of people like minimizing what he's saying. If he indeed is just using this as a publicity stunt, it's disgusting. Because if this truly did happen to him, man, I feel for him being sexually abused at such a young age with a cousin. I mean, it's saddening. And it explains a lot about his mental turmoil he's been through. And you saw him fall off shortly after his mom died. Things just got really weird. I think we all saw that. But I would like to say, I don't want to downplay by any means this allegation of sexual assault. And I think a lot of the internet starts doing that. But here's the problem with Kanye. It's like the little boy who cried wolf. Every time you start to forget about Kanye, he comes out with something more and more outlandish. He starts to fall off a little. All of a sudden, he says something crazy. Then he starts to fall off a little more. Then he says something about the Jews. Then he starts to fall off a little more. Then all of a sudden, he's a black Nazi. Then he starts to fall off a little more. Then he's parading his now ex-wife around naked, literally naked. Then he's starting to fall off, and he actually has a video of him getting a blowjob from her in a boat. Then he starts to fall off, and now he was raped by his cousin. At what point do we just start ignoring Kanye West? And I say this as a guy who was like, he's like 90% of my playlist on Spotify. Like, I like Kanye a lot. I like his musical talent. I loved his movie. I loved his documentary on Netflix. But there comes a time, Alan, when what won't he say to get attention?
That's the thing, man. Like, if this is true, first of all, if this is true, his cousin is literally a pedophile.
Yes.
And like, I have a hard time believing his family didn't know. Like, he says he sucked his cousin's dick until he was 14. So, I mean, I'm literally hoping that he means himself, not the cousin, because then it's a whole other fucking problem. But I just, like, it's right here. Like, I mean, I was shocked. I almost don't want. Whoops, sorry about that. Hang on.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't comb my hair today anyway.
I just like, I don't want to believe this is true. And he said it as like ha moment, almost like. And by the way, I mean, he literally says, this song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life, killing a pregnant lady a few years ago after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore.
Perhaps a few years ago, like, was he like 35? Like, hey, let's stop looking at dirty magazines.
Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty mags when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw.
How old was he? What is the age differential? I'm having trouble with this. So he was 6. Is Kanye the older one? Was Kanye the sexual abuser? I'm confused. Can someone in the chat help me out here? Like, if he showed him, because if he was younger, that means that at like 3 years old, Kanye's like, goo goo gaga, porn magazine.
So I changed my album name to Cuck. Is what he posted yesterday. Also.
I don't believe it. I don't believe any of the things he says anymore, dude. I mean, it's the little boy who cried wolf, man. It's like as soon as he starts, it's kind of like the fitness. He's kind of like the Cali Muscle of hip hop, but Cali started gay. Kanye's ending gay, right? Like Cali started with the gay for pay, and then he moved on to like, you know, being the prison guy, working out, and then he had his supplements, heart attack, health. Now he's back to supplements. It's going to come around to gay porn sooner or later. Kanye actually had what I consider musician a real job. I consider that work. It's a lot of work. He worked his ass off. If you saw his documentary, Kanye went from hard work to really successful to admitting to gay stuff. It's the weirdest arc I've ever seen.
I like, he is definitely the fucking gift that keeps giving when it comes to stupid shit. And then like the whole weird, like the whole, and I mean, the Groypers could don't like this, but why the fuck is anybody, let alone Kanye West, friends with fucking Nick Fuentes?
They have something in common now.
Yeah, they have something in common now. That's right. That is one of the things I just simply do not get. If you are a man and you look up to what is not really a fucking man in Nick Fuentes, you are not a man yourself. I'm sorry. He is one of the weakest male specimens you could fucking find.
Can you imagine Nick Fuentes trying to bench press or squat? Can you imagine him even doing a push-up with his body weight? Like, the guy is a weak little man-child.
And I don't, he's not profound in anything. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, he clearly goes by talking points. Like, I still think that somebody's pulling his strings, and they somehow have got just a faction of these fucking weirdos that fucking like him. And yeah, dude, like, again, if I insult you by calling you a weirdo for liking Nick Fuentes, you are following one of the weakest male specimens there is. He makes almost no sense half the time, and he's just a fucking weak person. Like, when did we start idolizing weakness in our fucking society? It's so weird, dude. Like, I sometimes look around. I'm like, I don't even recognize the fucking world anymore. I swear.
When we were kids, dude, we were raised on little figures of like G.I. Joe and He-Man.
Right.
And you had the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and you had Hulk Hogan, and you had all these perceived alpha males. And then you had the NFL, you had Lawrence Taylor, Kevin Green. You had these monsters you looked up to. And now people are like, I'm a Groyper.
Yeah. I'm a Groyper.
Like seriously, that's your guy? Like, if I was a kid, like, my kids look up to like the dude who I forgot, the dude who just Wyatt, the dude who just beat Gabriel Stevenson for the collegiate national title. So my kids look up to people like him, like Olympic level wrestlers and professional football players, and me, because I'm their dad. They don't look up to these guys. Like, they'll watch stuff, like they'll watch. And Andrew, look, here's the thing. Say what you will about Andrew Tate. That dude was a world-class kickboxer. I was watching one of his fights the other day. Dude, Tate can fight. Like, if you're gonna look up to someone with like those kind of like edgy views, like at least Andrew Tate can kick somebody's ass. Like, let's be real. I'm sorry, I don't equate being a man to being able to fight, but I do think that a man should exhibit some form of strength, physical fitness, power. I don't think we should look up to people who are just weak betas.
I agree, 100%. Here is, by the way, here is Gay giving Nick Fuentes a black heart because Nick Fuentes defends Gay from everything that he's going through and likes his new song Cousins, where he's just said, like, of course Nick Fuentes is going to like the new song Cousins. It's about Kanye sucking cock. So fucking. It's just.
I ride with Ye 100%.
Of course he rides him.
I like people.
Sure you do, buddy. Sure you do.
That are real. I like real human beings. Fuck haters. Fuck.
I like real human beings, bitch. You're not a real human being.
Well, fuck posers. Like, this guy poses as a tough guy. He's not tough. Yeah, you're not tough. You're not tough.
Fuck. I love how fuck the haters. Fuck the posers. If the haters and the posers were standing in the same room as you, you'd shut your little mouse ass fucking mouth.
Do you notice how even with the shoulder pads and the little suit jacket, he still has no shoulders?
Right. It's wild. Fuck
posers. Fuck fakers. I fuck with the new song too. The new song is good. So I'm a fan. I'm a friend. I'm a fan. That's the GOAT.
He's right. He is the GOAT.
That's a real ass nigger, straight up. That's a and I say that affectionately.
I don't even like that on this channel.
Nigga, and I love that, man. So I stand, and he don't need me to.
All I gotta say is, if you motherfuckers let him use the N-word with the hard R, everybody should be able to fucking use it.
Who's you guys? I don't think any black person is like, that's okay.
do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, but he's hiding in his little house in the suburbs of Illinois. He's not going anywhere. Like, Nick Fuentes ain't going to the Arnold Classic. Nick Fuentes ain't going to anywhere where there's anybody there. And if he does go, he's going to go with his little friends. And they're like ants. Have you ever seen, like, there's these videos? Are you subscribed to Insect Wars on Facebook?
No.
So they literally put insects and they fight. I'm sorry. It's kind of fun to watch. I know it's bad, but like, so they had like ants, like 1,000 ants versus like a wolf spider. And but ants, they're like the strongest animal on this planet. People don't realize that, pound for pound.
Yeah.
But ants will literally just sacrifice 100 and kill you with 900 if they have 1,000 of them. Like, it's crazy. Nick Fuentes' little groyper army, they're like ants. They will come and they will bring the numbers. So, like, he's going to be surrounded by his homies.
Fucking crazy. I don't get this kid.
You stand with him. He put it out there. He doesn't need people to go, it's not a fucking political statement. Not everything's a fucking political statement.
Yes, it is. That's literally your job. That is your fake job. That you don't have a real job. This guy's never had a real job. That's another thing, Alan. I cannot respect somebody who's speaking on issues who's never had a real job. He got famous as a teenager for harassing a Jewish guy with a baby in a stroller. And again, I'm not by any means simping for our boy, right? Like, I'm not by any means taking up for Ben Shapiro. But when a man has a baby in a stroller, you don't say shit. You just move on but that's how he got famous. That was his linchpin moment. That was his tipping point. Other than that, what has he done? Has he even had a job, like a real job? I can't respect someone who hasn't put in the hustle. Like, a lot of these guys, like you look at Mike Cernovich. That guy's done everything from hard labor to being in the military to fucking running $100 million companies. That's a guy that you listen to. You don't listen to someone who's never done anything.
Right. I agree 100%, but it goes beyond that. I really think that Nick Fuentes is some sort of plant. Like, I really.
You're not going to hear me argue.
So it's like, it's not political. Not everything's political. That's what you get paid for, dude. Like, I mean, that's literally what you get paid for. So stop it.
Yeah. Everything is political, son. It is what it is.
Fucking political.
It is. I mean, it is what it is. Like, for him to even say that, or because now, now you're defending Kanye. Kanye doesn't want you to defend him. Like, I'm sure he wants you. Like, he's acting like it, but he wants as many people talking about this as fucking possible.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's like, he wants people to listen to the song because he says, hey, this is about my cousin whose dick I sucked while I was 14 years old. Like, he wants people to fucking, he's using the pedophilia to sell albums.
Yep.
And fucknut over here is like, oh yeah, absolutely great. You sick fucking weirdo. He's talking about underage sex. And you're like, I fully stand by him. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What exactly are you standing by?
The closet is a scary place, Nick. Open the door. There's light on the fucking outside of the closet. It's okay to be fucking gay, but holy shit, like, you're fucking applauding pedophilia.
Wild.
It's insane.
It's wild.
Oh,
it's wild.
Construct. Fuck you, But I don't care. I still rock with it. That's a real human being, and I like it. I don't like.
What do you like about it? So I want to know, like, dude, if Kanye is telling the truth, man, this is not something you go, I like it. You go, dude, we need to get you help. That's what a real friend does. Like, you're crying out for help. That's why I don't think this is, I don't believe anything Kanye says anymore. Do you really believe that he's a Nazi? Do you really believe he harbors hates for Jews? I don't. I really don't. This guy, okay, first he's running for president. Then he's a MAGA. Then he's a Trump supporter. Now he's a Nazi. I think it's a psyop. I don't know what it's for, because it didn't hurt Trump, right? I mean, but he was doing rallies for Donald Trump. He met with Donald Trump.
Unreal.
This whole thing is weird.
It is. It's off.
Like it that it happened to him, obviously, but I like that he feels liberated to express himself like that, and liberated from that, from a tormenting experience,
Liberated
to just put it out there and to be free. We're conditioned that people don't talk that way. People don't say this. People don't do that. Everybody's embarrassed. Everybody doesn't want to be made fun of. Everybody wants to be liked. I loved it just as much when he said 10 years ago, I only fear God, and, I'm playing for audience of one, just as much then as I do now. When he's giving this confession, he's his tortured soul.
I have a question.
Fucking billionaire.
Yes. And also, I would like to say that for someone who said he only fears God, to parade your wife around naked, I don't think that's like, what would Jesus do? I don't think Jesus would do that, man. Would Jesus be getting head in the back of a boat? Like, this is all so contradictory. This world we live in is so stupid that someone like Nick Fuentes, can amass a huge following. That's how stupid we are. It's just like, we go, whoa, how do people follow the left? I can counter with, but then again, Nick Fuentes, he's not one of us, dude. This guy literally told people not to vote for Trump. He's not one of us, dude. Don't throw him on the right. Don't put him as one of us. He is not a Trump guy. He's not even okay. We didn't think he was a plant before. So he's all like, oh no, Christians and this and that. And then he's like, nobody should vote for Trump. At that point, did anyone stop to think this guy's a psyop to make every white person look bad?
Right.
Like every Trump, he literally has followers, and then he told them not to vote for Trump. And now they lump him in with the right wing, with the conservatives. This guy's not one of us, dude. This guy is not one of us. This guy is on his own island of fucking emaciated, sarcopenic weirdness.
Yes. Emaciated sarcopenic weirdness. I like it.
I like how I worked in sarcopenia in this conversation.
Yeah.
I would like the chat to note that I worked sarcopenia into this conversation.
It's impressive, like, because it's hard to work in the politics, you know,
especially in especially with sarcopenic. Like, I used it in an action description sense.
Yeah.
Extra points. Extra points. Let's go.
Let's go.
Clearly, you know, with the expression over the past couple of years with the Hitler stuff, the mask, the sex stuff, it's like this is someone who's going through some turbulence. And, you know, it's okay to not be okay. We're human. I know that's like a stupid heuristic, but it's like we're human beings. We get broken. We put ourselves back together. He's a human being going through it. Everybody goes through it. But when someone famous does, someone who doesn't look like us, because they're a rapper, because they're black, because they're celebrity, we're going to say, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy so-and-so. That's crazy.
You sound a little woke here.
Well, I like how the N-word is just chilling on our screen.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. Look, man, I'm a freedom of speech guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to tell anybody what not to use.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why anybody uses that word. I was joking around with my wife. Can you imagine if I use the K word like black people use the N word? Just start calling everybody kike. Just like walk up to someone on the street. What's up, my kike? Yeah, just chilling my kikes. Just me and my kikes. Just like, what? Who would say that? Like, it's not a good word. It's even worse than the C word, dude. It's like, it is the historical context of that word is just something I don't like saying. Now, do I have a right to say it? Everybody has a right. Now, I have a right to say it. Someone has a right to get offended and punch me in the face, right? Now, everybody should be able to call me a kike. I don't care. It's not going to bother me. Everybody should be able to say the N-word. That doesn't mean we should just say it. It doesn't. We shouldn't be using words. Again, like, use the words you want, but here's my take. You're just afraid to say it. No, I have friends and they don't like me saying it. Why would I want to hurt my friends with a word that I don't need to say? It's not like they're telling me not to say the word the. Like, I need to use the word the. I don't need to go out of my way. I don't need that privilege. I'm sorry.
Right. And also,
he says it because it's edgy.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. Like, I don't, and this is somebody that I've probably said fuck 2 billion times on
more
video.
In one video.
Or more. But let's be real. Like, if I'm going to try to refer to somebody or if I'm going to try to insult somebody, I'm not going to use racial epithets because I have a higher IQ than that. Like, I mean, using racially derogatory and inflammatory words is the sign of true fucking ignorance. Like, and I know people are like, oh, you swear all the time. Actually, swearing all the time shows higher IQ. Look it up.
Scientifically proven.
Scientifically proven. But something about I mean, again, this is just like, I'm going to say the words, and he's so emboldened to say the words. And here's why Nick Fuentes and all of his groiper, skinny ass, fucking emaciated little fucking punk ass bitches are all the same. Because people don't get punched in the fucking face for shit they say anymore.
You're not wrong. I mean, well, he did get attacked at his house.
What did, like, you know?
Oops.
Oh,
sorry, I bumped that.
No, it's okay. Nick did. I mean, someone tried to kill him, and he also got attacked by a fat woman that he pepper sprayed. Who pepper sprays a woman?
Well, I mean,
was she a bear?
Here's my thing. I she a bear. Somebody showing up at his house to kill him, obviously horrible, unconscionable, and can always be condemned. You know.
Yep.
But again, like, I'm just letting you know, like, Nick, like, this is why he should stay in his podcast room. At some point in time, he's going to say that in front of somebody live. They are going to take his head off his fucking shoulders with one punch because it doesn't look like it's very well connected, you know? And
his head is bigger than his body. It is fascinating how large his head is. in relation to his body.
He looks like a garbage pail kid that grew up.
Oh my God, yes. It looks like it's just, again, like this is your guy. Like, this is him. This is your Messiah. Like, this is it. This is what you're settling for. Like, do better. Get a better leader. You need a better cult.
Yeah.
Groiper.
I bet you need a better cult. I love it. That's so true. So true.
Weak.
All right. So let's finish up with this.
This guy's at it again. Fuck that. I don't mean to sound like too sentimental. I know maybe at pain of sounding too sentimental and sounding sappy, but it's just true.
This is where he professes his love for Kanye and can't wait to suck his dick.
Really?
So that's how I feel about it. I
was just ad-libbing and imagining that that's what was coming up next.
I thought you already watched it.
No.
I'm a little compassionate towards him because I've seen him. I know him. And he's a very sweet person. He's a very sweet, soft-spoken person.
Hold on.
And
I've never referred to you as a sweet person. If I ever call you a sweet person, I want you to just take all those years of bouncing at the clubs and just beat my ass. I promise I won't even fight back. I'll just be like, I deserve this. This is my
punishment. Fight back. As long as you don't fight back.
Nope. I will literally, you don't even have to tie my hands. I will hold my hand behind my back and you can just beat the living shit out of me if I ever call you a sweet guy.
Hit people.
I'm not hitting
people.
No, see, people don't understand. Like, yes, I was a horrible boxer. I understand that. I've seen the film. Okay. But the only reason my record was as good as it was is because I can take a punch.
Oh, no, but dude, you hit a fucking ton.
I can take a punch. I literally, so out of thousands of rounds of sparring with pros, with amateurs, with heavyweights, I've never been knocked down. I've come close. I've had bloody noses and concussions, but I never left my feet because for some reason I have enough brain damage where it doesn't affect me.
Oh, yeah. That's always beneficial.
No brain, no pain, dude.
No brain, no pain.
No brain, no pain.
I see everybody picking on him, and he takes.
Everybody's picking on him.
You don't go out and say what he says and just totally go against an entire group of people and use. Look, we talk about the N-word. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exaggerating. Some people find the swastika to be quite offensive. So when you go out and you promote a swastika, that's going to make a lot of people mad because that was the symbol that was used by people who killed anywhere between 20 and 6 million people, depending on who you listen to.
Yeah, depending on who it is.
But either way, people died. Let's forget about the numbers, forget about the semantics. Can we all agree that some Jews died? Just some?
I certainly fucking hope so. Good God.
We can only save just one life.
Right?
I admire about him is he's a sweet,
sweet.
At times very aggressive, sweet, but at times very soft-spoken guy. And he just takes on the whole world. He doesn't give a fuck what people think about him.
He only gives a fuck about what people are thinking about him.
Or else he wouldn't say anything. He may not care if it's positive or negative, but he definitely gives a fuck if people are talking about him or not. So
that shows low IQ by this fucking pussy ass bitch.
So I have
that to say that's stupid.
I have a couple friends, who are worth $100+ million.
Right.
They don't post on social media. Those are people who don't give a fuck what people think about them. If you don't give a fuck what people think about you, then you don't say shit. You don't go on social media. You don't clout chase. And Kanye has enough money to do that. He has enough money to just go off of social media. Look, if you don't care what people think about you, then just stop posting that you gave your cousin fellatio till you were 14 years old. I mean, so there's the problem. When you go on social media and you say, I don't care what people think about me, you just lost. You just proved you're a liar. Because by simply being on social media, and let's say people who do it because it's how they pay their bills, like I got to admit, if I did not have business that was aligned with social media, I would not be on social media.
Yeah, me either.
I would not be on social media because I truly, okay, the only time I care what people say about me is when it's nice or mean. But if I'm just hanging out with my wife, not looking at social media, my wife always, because I dress up for work, but on weekends, I don't care. She'll be like, what are you wearing? I'm like, I don't care. Like, that shirt's like 5 years old. It has holes in it. It's comfortable. I don't care.
Makes it comfy, yeah.
I don't care. I truly don't care. But when you put yourself out on social media, you have to care because there's two types of people on social media. There's people, for some people like me and Alan, there's two, and I'll speak for you, Alan, because I know this is right. There are two types of people who really like us and people who just fucking hate us. There's no people who are like, Alan's okay. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Alan. No, I mean, so you have to care because you see it. And if you see it, you're going to have a visceral reaction. You're going to have a reaction from inside where you're like, wow, that person really hates me. And that kind of, and then it makes you like, if you're someone like me who kind of cares, you're like, why does that person hate me? Or why does, what did I do? Like, why would that person say this about me? Why did that person attack my children for no reason? Right? It's weird. Right. But when people say nice things, it feels nice. So even if you feel nice about compliments, you care what people say about you. You do. Right. Because that's human nature. Kanye cares. So what I think is Kanye gets off on dopamine. Where whether it's a bad reaction or a good reaction, it gives him this dopamine response where he just wants more of it and more of it. So if someone calls him the N-word, he's like, oh yeah, bring it on. That negative response is still dopamine being released into his brain. And he's like, I need more of this. It becomes like an addiction.
I think that that's very valid. Like, I mean, again, like to say that he just doesn't care what people think. Yeah, he cares that they're thinking at the very least. I mean, Kanye, just like you said, just like you said, the very second that he starts falling out of the limelight, he does something crazy. Like, I hadn't thought about him in like 2 months, and all of a sudden I saw his wife with JJ. You know, I mean,
she had really great boobs.
She does. She's got a nice box too. I mean, she's a good-looking woman. But
I mean, it's what's on the inside that counts. You can't judge everything by labia.
We can definitely almost see that too. It's crazy. But
I mean, you could pretty much see her vulva at that point.
Yeah. Is that a fertilized egg? I know. But I mean, I agree with you. I think I was totally like that's what he does. Every time he starts falling off, like all the wife stuff started falling off. Blowjob video. All the blowjob videos started falling off. Sucked my cousin's dick.
Can you go any further than that? Like, is that because we went from Nazi to
he's going to be banging his stepmom soon. So.
Oh God! Like, can you really top this one? Is there a next step? Because I thought Nazi was as far as you can go, and I was wrong. I was proven wrong. I was like, all right, he can't go any further than this. Then I'm like, oh yes, he can. Oh, yep, never mind.
Oh, he did.
Never mind.
Way farther, as a matter of fact. I stand corrected. No shit.
This is the fucking Hail Mary, dude. Like, this is the Hail Mary pass. Like, you got 2 seconds left in the game. You're just chucking it downfield. Michael Vick throwing it 90 yards in the air on a spiral, hoping for a tip drill. That's what we saw here. A tip drill.
It goes to the little tip drill.
The tip drill. Sorry. Didn't mean to.
Just the tip.
But just the tip drill.
It's like celebrities are getting fucking desperate too. Like Kanye's talking about sucking his cousin's dick. Like Katy Perry is talking about how she's some sort of astronaut now. Gail King, Gail King is literally famous for licking Oprah's vagina and lying about it for fucking decades. How Gayle King is fucking popular is literally because she is Oprah's side piece, and we all fucking know it. Like,
I thought that, no, I think they could be just friends.
Sorry, fuck no.
Chicks
Fuck no.
can't be friends like that. I mean,
Chicks can be. They're not.
I never heard the I never heard the lesbian allegations.
Oh my god! Yeah, I've thought it for fucking decades.
I've never thought that. I've seriously never thought that.
And Oprah was or is married to some fucking dude named Stedman.
Stedman,
fucking,
yeah, Stedman.
He was like the actual picture of like arranged marriage for fucking fame. You know what I mean? Like it's literally what he looks like. But Gayle King's like, we are astronauts. People wouldn't have said that to men that went out into space. Yeah, because they're actual fucking astronauts that went out into space before. She was comparing herself to like the guy that did the first fucking spacewalk.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. I was on a flight last week. I'm a fucking pilot, bro. Like, I'm like, I flew this bitch, landed it and everything.
That is exactly how it works.
When people, that's why when you go on a flight, you ever go like, people are like, fly safe. I always like, I'm not fly. I always have a stupid response like, well, I'm not really the one flying the plane, but in all actuality, I am.
Yeah.
So I've been lying this whole time.
Whenever you do something, you become the utmost at it. Like tonight, I'm going to become a gynecologist. So I mean.
So you're actually giving an exam.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But anyway.
Well, tonight I'm going to become a proctologist.
Dude, as soon as I
how
said
did you
it,
not know? How did you know I was going to say that? That was so predictable that I was going to say that. That was that is something I would say if someone said, "What would Mark say after this?" They'd be like, "Oh, he's proctologist." That's exactly what Mark would say.
Exactly what it would be. But,
or I could become a dental hygienist.
Went in for tooth cleaning, huh?
An ENT.
Oh my goodness. But that's how, and people, this is how ridiculous they sound. They're like, what we did was amazing. You didn't do shit. First of all, I don't even know if they win.
I'm doubting it, dude. I'm doubting it. I'm doubting it. People were like, oh, you're one of them. You don't believe they went. I'm like, I have my questions. I have some questions.
How did Katy Perry just open up the fucking cockpit thing from the inside?
You're not supposed to be able to open it from the inside.
Right. You're not supposed to. Not only that, but does everybody realize that, like, if they were in space, there was no oxygen, right? So why the fuck, just as a precaution, I'm just saying, just like, maybe as just a fucking precaution, they put these people in suits and shit like that, with their own respirators and shit, just in case what looks to be like the IKEA of the fucking spaceships that they were fucking flying in. Just in case that bitch fails, like, you're not, going to explode, because like you realize that if like it like depressurizes in space, you just pop. Like it's fucking,
you just pop.
Well, yeah, because like you expand. Like it's like it would not be a pretty fucking sight, right?
It depends who you ask.
That's true. But I don't know if they win. I really don't.
I'm not going to bet either way.
And I honestly do not care enough about any of those motherfucking people to give a shit. I love how they're making a big deal about this. A few weeks ago, Elon sent people up to rescue fucking people that have been lost in space or stuck in space for 8 months.
That NASA couldn't rescue. That NASA couldn't figure out. NASA's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like NASA was like,
imagine those communications. Yeah, we still don't know how to get the fuck you home. Like you're still just stuck up there.
But we have a meeting next Tuesday, and hopefully, we figure it out by then. They sent people to space with no idea how to bring them back.
Oh, and people.
I mean,
I'm sorry, but that's the government. Like, if that is not a more telling thing about how the government feels about you. They threw people into fucking space, and we're just like,
Can you imagine? They're like, yeah, they're in the space station. Cool. When they coming back, huh? What? Would they have to? Oh shit! Totally overlooked that one.
oh my god!
And then Elon's autistic ass is like, oh guys, I got an idea. I could send my spaceship up there, my rocket ship, and we can pull them back. We'll just bring them back. And Biden was like, nah.
Yeah.
Biden's like, nah, let him die. We can't have you help us, bro.
It's literally like they can't have like it's so fucked up. Like we're never gonna be able to like have peace in America amongst the people when there's people. Like, you cannot be so invested that you want to see the government fail. Like you can't be so invested that you are hoping that like Trump fails. Do you realize how stupid that makes you fucking sound, right? Like
I wanted Biden to do good.
Dude, I shit you not. We could look it up. Me and you did a podcast the week after the election, and we both said, I hope he does a great fucking job. Both of us. We both said
Alan,
it because
I lost hundreds of followers because I said, guys, just calm down. Like Biden, they had that outbreak of whatever flu it was, and Obama and Biden, 80,000 people died, a lot of kids, and they were like, let's just ride it out. We're not going to do anything. I said, Biden could very well do the same thing and just pull this lid off of COVID. People were like, no, he won't. I'm like, just give him a chance. Then I had to go on like 6 months later and apologize because I was completely wrong. But I'm not apologizing for my optimism in our leadership. Like at the end of the day, Biden was the president of the country I love. Now, I want to be thrown in jail till he dies. I think he's an evil person and he completely abused the role of president. But when someone gets elected, even if Kamala got elected, I would hope and pray that she would do the right thing. And I would give them the benefit of the doubt until they failed. And Biden really fucked up. Like he did a bad job. Horrible job. Horrible job. So I don't care if it's Trump, Kamala. I don't care if it's Dave Smith. I just want America to be great.
Right.
And hey, if the policies Biden put through worked, unlike letting over 10 to 20 million illegal immigrants with no background checks, who could have seen anything going wrong with that? So it's just wild. And what's really wild is the Supreme Court didn't, after January 6th, were mischarged. They took a misdemeanor that shouldn't have done it, gave them 20 years in jail or more. The Supreme Court is now worried about fucking MS-13 members. Like, where was the Supreme Court? Where, and I got to question Trump's choices.
Yeah.
Barrett, all these, I mean, what the fuck? Like, okay, I understand. Like, I understand if they see this as being unconstitutional, that they would be like, okay, we're going to do special sessions. But where were these people when Biden was completely destroying the Constitution?
So if Trump gets an opportunity to put somebody else on the Supreme Court, do you know who my suggestion is?
Ted Cruz?
Ron DeSantis.
Oh shit! Yeah, he's a lawyer.
Yeah, he was the AG of Florida for a while.
Yeah,
and he was a JAG when he was in the military. He was a lawyer when he was in the military too.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand. Like DeSantis has very little charisma, which makes him perfect for the Supreme Court.
Yes. Yeah. Because here's the thing, I like DeSantis as I love DeSantis as the governor of Florida.
Yes.
But I can tell you this: he's never like. Do you remember when people were talking about that and like people were like, oh, do you want DeSantis? I'm like, I fucking wish he wouldn't run. Anybody that runs, Trump was going to win the nomination.
Yep.
I don't know why the fuck people did. We should have all just rallied. Me and you were saying this years ago. Everybody get behind Trump. Like, even if you want DeSantis, get behind Trump. DeSantis can have his time. But if he goes up against Trump now, it's going to ruin his chances for 2028. And it did. Like he doesn't even look like a viable fucking candidate anymore. He's not even in discussion.
Trump
because
just chews
Trump-
people up and spits them out,
Yeah.
man.
And
I do.
Ron, and
by
Ron's
the
not,
way,
and Ron's not that engaging of a guy, you know.
no, I do prefer DeSantis over Trump. I know people might hate me for saying that, but if I had to vote for the two of them, and I knew that it was going to be a chance for Ron to win,
Mhm.
I don't think Ron could have beat Kamala. I just don't, because he doesn't have a base. No, but
No.
Ron DeSantis is an amazing human being. I love Ron DeSantis. Love him.
But yeah, the Supreme Court seems like they're fucking pulling the fucking globalist line. Like, it is what I keep saying. At some point in time, the government, and I've said this for years, so this is not new, but the government it's too corrupt to the core. Like, we are not going to be, you cannot cut out something that is systemic.
Yes.
We need to reboot the government. Like we need to get all new leadership, all new justices, everything. The problem is we are so divided as a country right now that it won't like I don't know how this is going to happen. Like I don't know how we're going to continue forward, because while Trump's in office, gas prices are down, food prices are down where I'm at, like everything's kicking on along. I'm hoping he eliminates income tax, all that shit. I think he's doing a great job. This is all fucked up. We literally have fucking Raskin. Did you hear what Raskin said? Raskin said, to all the companies that are all the countries and companies that are aligning with Trump right now. Remember, we're going to come back into the power, and we'll remember this. Fucking throw that man in goddamn jail.
That's a Logan Act violation.
It's a Logan Act violation. It's the same thing as all these fucking these senators flying to El Salvador to fucking beg for him back. We should arrest them when they fucking get back.
Yep.
Like when they fly fucking back in, they should be arrested. Everybody realize that, right?
We should. We absolutely should.
Yeah.
And they tried to get Flynn on that, and that was a trumped up charge. That's crazy. But the good thing that's happening, and I know I'm going to make a lot of enemies here, is student debt. And I want to just go into a little bit on student debt, because I'm someone who's currently paying for college. And I wanted to just kind of, not for myself, for my daughter, and I have two sons who, well, Thomas will get most of it paid for wrestling, and Preston is a prodigy. So I'm not going to have to pay nearly as much for those guys, because my daughter stopped playing the sport that she could have. Whatever, never mind. Let's not get started on that. But anyway, here's
In other news, the Trump administration has announced we will put an end to Joe Biden's illegal student loan bailout attempts. No student loan has been referred to collection since March of 2020. That comes to an end. On May 5th, the Department of Education will resume involuntary collections for borrowers with defaulted federal student loans. The student loan portfolio controlled by the federal government is nearly $1.6 trillion, but fewer than 4 out of 10 borrowers are in repayment. This is unsustainable, unfair, and a huge liability for American taxpayers. Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others. So why should Americans who didn't go to college or went to college and responsibly paid back their loans pay for the student loans of other Americans? The Trump administration will never force taxpayers to pay student loan debts that don't belong to them. Student loan borrowers need clarity, and we're finally giving it to them. Borrowers will now be clearly expected to repay their loans, and those who default on their loan obligations will face involuntary collections. The government can and will collect defaulted federal student loan debt by withholding money from borrowers, tax refunds, federal pensions, and even their wages. $36 trillion in debt. We must get our fiscal house in order and restore common sense to our country. If you take out a loan, you have to pay it back. It's very simple.
So if I can opine real quick, and then I'd love to hear your opinion. So I work too much. I've been working, I put myself in the emergency room twice from overworking, exertion, not even before I was competing. So you can't blame it on bodybuilding. This is before I was competing. This is in my 20s. In college too. I work long hours. I haven't had a day off in years. And there's one reason for that. So my kids can go to college and not have to pay back any loans. And so when looking at colleges, there are tiers. You got your Harvard and shit, which is like $80,000 or something. You got you got business schools like my daughter's going to, which is like 60,000. Then you got the mid like D3, D2, which can be 20 to 40 depending on financial aid package. And then you have state schools, which Austin P up here in Clarksville, Tennessee is $7,000 a year. UT Chattanooga is about $14,000 a year. And UT Knoxville is about $21,000 to $22,000 a year. In the state of Tennessee, community college is free. So you get your first 2 years of schooling or a trade degree for free in the state of Tennessee. So here's what you do. You go to where you can afford. So the problem is everybody wants to send their kid, or every child wants to go to a college that they cannot afford. When I was a child, when I was a teenager, do you want to know what school I went to? I didn't go to California Lutheran University because I liked the geography. I didn't go there because I didn't even know what the hell the majors were there. It's a fucking liberal arts college, right? Like, I don't know. All I knew is that they would pay my tuition if I would play a sport. They offered me the best offer that I could get, being a 5 foot fucking, at that time, 5'9" midget who happened to be really fast and can hit really hard. So I went to where they paid my tuition. I went to where they would have me. Not once in my mind at that time, and I knew nothing about finances. I went to fucking school in California. We were socialist. Not once did I think that if I took out student loans to go to, let's say, where my nephew's going, University of San Diego, which at the time was, I think, $40,000 a year, their financial aid package for me was nothing. So I would have to take approximately $20,000 to $30,000 in student loans. And that's on top of me getting financial aid for being not rich, for having no money. So I went to the school that I went to, not because I loved it, but because I could go there and I could afford it. The problem is people want to spend beyond their means. Going to an expensive university is the equivalent to me being able to afford a Nissan Sentra and going out and buying a Lamborghini Urus. You can't afford it. Don't go. So for them to say college should be free, guess what? With state tuition, with financial aid, with community college being very cheap or even free in some states like the great state of Tennessee, you can get through with a 4-year degree. If you live in Tennessee, you have a 2-year degree with the Promise Act, a 2-year degree, your associate's degree. You get that at a community college like Columbia State. Then you take your other 2 years at Austin P. Let's round it to $8,000. You have a total of $16,000, and you have yourself a damn good 4-year degree. The problem is nobody wants to lower themselves, just like nobody wants to do hard jobs because they're not, oh, it's too hard. Oh, that's demeaning. There's nothing demeaning about getting a 4-year education. And yes, I am pro-education. I'm not Charlie Kirk. I do believe degrees are a good thing. I believe college is a good thing. I disagree with a lot of conservatives on that. I believe the experience of having to get a certain amount of units and learn different things, including things pertaining to what you like to do, whether it's in underwater basket weaving or business, don't care. I think it's a good thing. But if you can go to school, get it done in 4 years, if you can spend less than $20,000 and you can have a job while you're doing that to pay for your bills, which you can have a job and take 15, 16 units a semester. And you can work all summer, all winter. You can be a server and do seasonal. That's what my daughter does. Guys, the problem isn't the universities overcharging. That's like me being mad at Ferrari for charging too much for their car. There are plenty of affordable universities. The problem is what Americans like to do. It's buying shit they can't afford, which includes degrees. What say you, Alan?
Well, I agree with just about everything you said. I do think that the repayment should be at a very, very low interest rate. Like, I think that's where
I can agree.
Part of it gets fucked up. Like, I'm talking like 0.5%. You know what I mean? Like,
but then why would anybody? But Alan, I got to ask you that. Why would anybody loan them money then? Because the whole point of loaning money.
Well, hang on.
Is that you make money?
My other point was the government should not be doing this.
So who's going to give them a lower interest loan? I mean, that's the problem. Banks need to make interest on the loans.
Well, it's not the bank; it's the federal student loans are the one giving out the money.
But if we got rid of federal funding for the federal student loans,
then
the
we colleges, the colleges should absolutely do that. Like if colleges want people to come, they can and they can't afford to. The college can say, "Here's your payment plan," just like just about any other fucking person does.
Okay, I see. Like hospital bills, like they do that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
right?
that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Because right now, the universities have almost no vested interest in making sure that you can actually fucking pay your student loan bill back. Like that's why they're giving degrees in fucking basket weaving and shit like that. Like you have a $60,000 education to figure out how to fucking weave baskets. It's a newsflash. You're never making that money back weaving fucking baskets. And I do that with a lot. I think that would eliminate a lot of that bullshit. But also, I do think that it is the school's responsibility more than it is the government. That way, it is literally not on the taxpayer at all. That way, it's on the institutions. And if they can't function, if the colleges can't function, if Ivy League schools can't function by giving out loans and everything like that to their people, then maybe you shouldn't be in existence. Because, like you said, there are plenty of schools that people can afford, especially if it's smaller.
Guys, if you live in Tennessee, Austin P is so affordable. It's in a decent area. I mean, I don't understand, but these kids, I live in Brentwood, dude. Like, it's hard to convince a kid in Brentwood to go to Austin P because it's Clarksville, right? Like, these kids are so spoiled. I didn't realize the college I went to was in the safest city in America at the time, Thousand Oaks per capita. I don't know if it's like that anymore after the whole immigration thing, but yeah, it was, I ended up going to a really good school with a really good campus, really good people, really good professors. But another thing I'd like to add is that we need to get rid of general education. Let me explain why. My daughter's a business major, marketing, and she has to take classes where they're showing her videos of lesbians kissing.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I'd be so fucking furious. Oh, my God.
I'm just like, dude, sit through it. Get your degree.
Yeah.
If there's anyone immune to indoctrination, it is my daughter. Trust me. You've met my daughter. My daughter almost killed you.
Yes. True story.
She's a good driver now.
Yeah.
She's a good driver now. She almost turned out in front of the largest truck at that time I've ever seen. And I'm like,
It was impressive. My hand, I was sitting behind Mark next to my wife, and I had gripped onto the headrest in front of me so hard that it left a bar mark in my hands, and my hands hurt for an hour. I gripped because, and I will say this though, she did do a good job of saving us too. She did almost get us killed, but she got corrected right back on the road. Everything like that was real good. But that was a moment for real. That was a moment. It was.
You know what? That spiked our heart rate more than any cardiovascular activity could ever do. God, so we should thank her.
And honestly, she was so sweet about it. She felt so bad, but I was like, it's no big deal. I taught my son how to drive too, so trust me, I get it. There were several times where we got home and I'm like, I cannot believe we lived. I'm so happy to see you, honey. Because I thought we were going to die.
Yeah, meanwhile, Thomas is the best driver. He's always been. He taking him out to drive was easy. Cammy, so she went to turn. She didn't know how to turn the wheel without making her hands hit. I was like, do this.
That's funny.
It was, man, dude. So I gotta say, look, I know. So I want to talk about BS degrees, and then we'll call it a day. There are too many bullshit degrees. Who are we to say what 100%. A bullshit degree is? Look, man, there's a lot of people who follow passion, like school teachers, and know they're not going to make $1 million a year. Some school teachers, some are terrible and whatever. But look, man, if someone wants to major in something, it's up to them to figure out what the best move is. But I would say if we took out those 2 years of general education and just went straight to the fucking meat, that would save a lot of money.
I would agree. there's all that shit too. Like they need to make sure you're well rounded. Then what the fuck did we do in high school? Because high school does not prepare them for college either.
No shit.
A lot of high school classes don't even have a fucking syllabus.
They're so bad. High school's kind of a joke. It's not college prep. It's not college prep. Oh man, I think he froze. On that note, guys, we are back on Thursday. Thursday, we have an extra special Jewcast. Oh, are you back?
I'm back.
I was covering.
But keep going.
Thursday, we actually have an extra special Jewcast. We have David Cole Stein. Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. David Cole Stein on the Jewcast. So if you're looking to get there, it's youtube.com/@Jewcast, who, by the way, YouTube sent me a warning that we had a warning on our channel. I appealed it and I won for the first time ever.
That.
I was really excited about it.
That was the one with Laura Loomer, right?
Yeah, Laura Loomer got us a few issues, but that's Laura.
That's Laura.
What a way to kick off a podcast.
Right. All right,
I'd love to have her back. Anyway, dude, yeah, we're here.
We'll be back Thursday, right? What do you got?
Yes, sir.
You having a good week? Any travel this week?
No travel this week, but I can't make any guarantees for the rest of my life.
I hear you. All right, people, go to ambrosiacollective.com and get you some of these very fine supplements right here. By the way, I mixed hydroglyph, watermelon, and strawberry today with my wife made some fresh sun tea that had mint and lemon balm from our garden, and I added this to it. Oh, fuck, it was delicious. It was so good. So amazing. So please go get it. We have No Morbidity Alchemy, and this young lady will describe it to you. I hope everybody has a great night.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss, it's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey. And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, No Morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.